Hello everyone. In this video I'm going to talk to you about a lot of crazy things that have been going on with mass transit here in the tri-state area in the past 48 hours, which things have just gotten completely unprecedented, folks. And as I mentioned back on Monday, it seems that the worst transportation crisis in New York State history continues to seem to get worse each day as we go along. Each day. Can't make this stuff up. So, first up, let's talk about what happened on Metro North yesterday. So, what happened on Metro North yesterday? Somebody got struck by a train in the Bronx. Okay? Alright? Inbound service along the Harlem line would not make stops at Fordham, Tremont, and Melrose. And they had to make customers take a northbound train on Harlem 125th Street. You know how inconvenient that is for people coming home from the Hudson Valley, trying to get into the Bronx during rush hour? Here's what it said on the New Haven line. Same thing. Inbound service did not make stops at Fordham during this craziness. Also, the Long Island Railroad yesterday. Somebody got struck by a train at Woodside. Here's the catch, folks. No sign of the local media even covering this. None. Not with the railroad, not with Metro North. And again, I'm sorry to bring him up, but Trump keeps getting too much mentions on TV lately. And yet, we're having bigger problems here in New York City that should be covered by our media affiliates. New York 1, CBS 2, NBC 4 New York, Fox 5, ABC 7, Pix 11. Not one media, not even the New York Post had an article about what happened in Queens since Tuesday. And we'll get to the 7 in just a second. But look at this. At least NYCT crossed on it, right? So, westbound trains yesterday had to stop. Right. Westbound trains could not stop at Woodside, Kew Gardens, and Forest Hills yesterday because an unauthorized person was struck by a train. Trespasser. You know what that means, folks? Unauthorized person. Not allowed. New York City Transit had to cross honor for the E at Jamaica South and Archer, Kew Gardens Union Turnpike, which is my home station, and Forest Hills 71st Avenue, and on the 7 line at 61st Street Woodside and Flushing Main Street. Now let's get into what happened on Tuesday, shall we? So on Tuesday, here's what happened. There was no 7 service on Tuesday morning between Times Square, 42nd Street, and Hunters Point Avenue in both directions after somebody was struck by a train near Vernon Boulevard, Jackson Avenue. And crazy thing was, during this madness, they were running 7 shuttle service between 34th Street, Hudson Yards, and Times Square, 42nd Street. For service to and from Manhattan, they told customers to take the E, F, M, N, and R lines. But here's the catch. Why didn't they also mention the W was available? The W train could have been useful along the Ditmars line. Some Hudson Yards bound trains had to end at 61st Street Woodside, Queensboro Plaza, or Hunters Point Avenue. The Long Island Railroad had to cross honor people at Flushing Main Street, Woodside, and Penn Station. Now, here's the thing. 2 things had happened during this craziness. So, there were many pictures on Twitter that I retweeted back on Tuesday, which, if you want to see those pictures, go on my Twitter feed, at Annie's Randomness, because let me tell you, folks, Tuesday was just a madhouse. Tuesday was just a complete madhouse. And what was crazy enough about Tuesday was Court Square 23rd Street was overcrowded. And I've heard from many people that some conductors on the Long Island Railroad weren't even notified that they were cross-honoring Metro cards. So just craziness. And then look what happened this morning, folks, with the Queens Village bus. Yep, this is definitely a Queens Village bus. I want to thank Andrew Lee for sharing this. In case you don't know who Mr. Andrew Lee is, he is one of my fellow colleagues here on YouTube who covers nice bus incidents, which, again, I want to thank him for that, because let me tell you, this is just, something that he likes to do. And, again, look at this. Broken down bus. This is the Hillside Avenue in Queens Village, but the Clearview Expressway. And we can't assume that, it was an overheat. It was just, the bus had a mechanical issue. Most likely, what I'm assuming is probably a fail. Probably an epic fail, for all that we know. And what's crazy about this is one of the newer Nova Bus LFSs. And this is what you get with Queens Village. You get, don't get me wrong, at least it's MTA. I'll give them credit on that. But it could be a whole lot worse, folks, if this was Transdev and if this was Nice Bus. All right? So again, folks, you gotta take this seriously. You really do have to take this seriously. I just wish that people who ride mass transit, we all have to understand that one thing. This is the worst time to be using public transportation right now in the city of New York, let alone our tri-state region. And you have other negative effects that's going on around our area. And this is what causes people to go crazy, to go insane in some cases. Do things they would never do. And I just can't stand how we have a large downstate region that doesn't seem to care what's really going on, and yet all we talk about every day is that blowhead in Washington. And honestly, I'm sick and tired of it, It's like, okay, this is Channel 7. We're going to bring up Donald Trump just because he's a New Yorker. Like, who cares? That can wait until 6:30. That can wait until World News Tonight. That can wait until the NBC News at 6:30 or CBS. Shouldn't be brought up, all right? At least in other markets of the country, Seattle, I'll give one example. Seattle talks about their homeless problem. Recently in San Francisco, they're even bringing up their homeless problem, which I'm glad they are. But you know what's so idiotic about the city of New York, folks? You know what's so idiotic about the city of New York? It's bad enough that we're dealing with these transportation issues every day of the week. I just wish the media would go undercover and realize what's going on here. Why are all these issues going on with the Long Island Railroad, with Metro North, with the subways, even the buses? Why are so many buses breaking down? There should be investigations by the media. Let them do it. But no, they don't want to invest their resources into this. And I'm very angry about that. And by the way, I'll just mention one quick thing. I know this is off topic and the media won't tell you this. Tonight on New York One, there's going to be a debate for public advocate. And one other point. If you got your voter's guide for for Queens, I'm very annoyed at the Board of Elections that they didn't even mention our district attorney race here in Queens. So, again, it's media bias everywhere. If you're not talking about Donald John Trump, you don't matter in the media. That's how it works these days. If you want to talk about something different, they'll call you out on it and they'll say, why are you talking about this? We should be talking about the blowhead in Washington. I don't want to talk about him. You guys know this channel is not about, talking about, issues that are going on with the United States. I want to focus on New York. You all know that. And maybe sometimes New Jersey. Maybe, especially when an issue happens in Delmarva, again, I'll cover it. If something happens down there, I'll break the news. But trying to say here is, please get involved. If you see something, take a picture like Andrew Lee did. If you can, take a video. At least try to take pictures. Expose what's going on, because if you get more people involved, and the media might actually pay attention to us. Maybe they will. And I'm still upset about Wantagh. I know you're going to call me a hypocrite for saying this, but there's homeless people hanging around Wantagh right now on the South Shore. Why does Babylon get all the coverage and yet Wantagh isn't even getting respect? Just like Mineola and Hicksville is another example, which I'm not even going to get into that. But it would be a nice start if somebody paid attention to what's going on in Wantagh right now, because I'm not even going to get into that. Same like Mineola and Hicksville. They should be getting the same treatment too. But I think with that, I'm going to wrap up this video. Again, thank you all for watching. We must continue to expose the MTA. We must continue to expose Nice Bus. And we have to expose transportation companies in the tri-state region. You see something wrong, expose it. Get the word out about it like I'm doing. And more importantly, I'm going to call out our governor to make one last point. Governor Cuomo, you need to start paying attention to mental health in this state. Because that's another problem why these people are probably trespassing. It's probably one of the main reasons. You, sir, should be ashamed of yourself. You are not a man if you don't care about mental health. All right? Sorry to call people out like that. So we need more people to get involved in that fight too. It's one of the reasons I think why this probably happened as well. You never know. That's why I think quality of life in the state just continues to get worse as well. Not just because of a crappy mass transit system, but a poor mental health resource network. We don't have that in New York, it seems. Thank you all for watching. Until the next one, please take care.